Yes.
Bill, great to see you. Great to see your beautiful wife. How are you, my friend?
You know, life's good. I'm up in Truckee.
Yeah.
Live in Truckee and Cambria.
Wow. What brought you to Truckee?
I like to ski.
I know you do.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's the place. If you want to be able to ski in California, that's a good place.
No
Great
snowboarding,
town.
skiing.
I'm a skier.
Good, so am I.
I've
ski a
skied my
lot,
whole
yeah.
life.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So no one tricked you into snowboarding one day and
You know,
learning?
I tried it once when I was in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
I went down a bunny hill, and I was only trying it because I wanted to just try something new.
Mm-hmm.
But when you've skied your whole life, and I can ski anything, any mountain, anywhere, any hill, you know, really well.
I mean, double diamonds,
oh,
everything.
Yeah. The only thing as a player, because I skied when I was in Denver, I was up at Vail every weekend in the off season. I just didn't ski moguls.
They let you ski at one point? Was it in your contract, or
Well,
Romo, did you work around it?
I just did it.
Wow.
You know, because for me, if I was going to get hurt skiing, it was going to be because someone hit me. It wasn't going to be because of my abilities, because my legs were so strong. And, yeah, there are freak things that could happen. But for me, I just stayed on steep, groomed.
Love it.
When I played.
Bill Romanowski joins us. So a couple of things, NFL and Raiders related.
Yes.
Raiders are going to bring in Clint Kubiak
Yes.
as the new head coach, working for the Raiders. It's not official yet, but we
Yep.
know he's coming in.
Yep.
The Kubiak family connected to the Shanahans in Elway. What can you
Yes.
tell us about this Kubiak tree and what you know about him, and especially his dad and the philosophy where he comes from?
Well, you know, Gary was our offensive coordinator back in the heyday. You know, at the end of the day, there's a certain philosophy that works, and it still works today. Run first. Okay? I believe he will be a guy that will stay true to what he believes. And when I see the Seahawks and their success, it's about running the football.
Yeah.
Hey, Sam Darnold can manage. I look at Sam Darnold this way. He's not a guy that's going to win a bunch of games for you. He won't lose them, but he just has to manage the game. I look at him as more of a game manager than someone that, like a Joe Montana, like a John Elway, you know, like a Rich Gannon, that can go out there and actually win a game for you.
I love the Kubiak tree because I'm assuming, and I'm going to ask Coach when I get a chance to interview him when he gets the job, that he's the type of guy that probably learned listening to his dad and Elway.
Of course.
In a house, in a living room where John and him are talking.
I mean,
or a phone call where Dad's on the phone and he's talking to John. He comes from that. You know the Raiders need this. We tried with Pete Carroll. Ever since John Gruden had to resign, it's been Rich Bisaccia, Antonio Pierce. But we had the guy who was supposed to be better than Kubiak, and Josh McDaniels. We had him.
Yeah.
He wasn't a good head coach. It did not transfer over, but he's arguably a better play caller than Clint Kubiak. He's Josh McDaniels. He's in the Super Bowl again. What do you think that Kubiak will need to do to impress the Raider Nation through a media perspective and ignite this fan base?
Well, number one, it looks like we're going to get a quarterback.
Yes.
You know. Number two, it's about this. When I look at what the Patriots did to get to where they are, that playbook is got to be what the Raiders do.
Thank you.
And they upgraded talent everywhere, and they didn't miss. They didn't miss in the draft, and they didn't miss in free agency. So we've got to get more talent everywhere across the board. And I think if we do that with, you know, the quarterback that everyone says we're going to draft,
got to get it.
We got to.
Well, look, I mean, I'm not John Spytek, and neither are you.
But I tell you what, I watched that, you know, championship game, and I could make the argument that the quarterback on the other side was just as talented till the end.
Talent-wise, of course.
Yeah.
And he's going back. Moore's going back to college
Yeah.
to play another year. Very interesting. I want to go back to your career. 4 Super Bowls. We're going to be doing an event with Charles Haley, who has 5.
Yes.
We got Marcus at the event, and obviously I think Rod Woodson is the top 25 player of all time.
Absolutely.
So when you're around a group of guys like that, and you're having dinner, and afterwards you're talking, what do you guys talk about?
You know what? For me, I'm just in awe of those guys.
Yeah.
You know, like when I got to the Niners, Charles Haley, if Charles Haley doesn't go to the Cowboys don't win 3 Super Bowls. It doesn't happen.
It was that big.
He was that missing link. And I probably would have had a couple more rings. I would have been maybe up there tied with Brady with Super Bowl rings.
Let's take Brady out and Haley out for a minute, because we've talked about your NFC Championship games.
Yeah.
AFC Championship game, playing in the Super Bowl for the Raiders. Realistically, how many rings should you have had? Because you got 4, so you got to have
4.
some breaks to get to 4. You got to win some championship games and playoff games.
I lost 3 NFC Championship games.
Unbelievable.
3 NFC Championship games. So, potentially, you know, I could have, like I said, I could have been up there.
Do you remember the energy you had in the locker room after a loss? Were you a guy knowing from winning Super Bowls how big it was not to go back? How did you compose yourself after losing an NFC Championship?
You know, it's a huge letdown, because at the end of the day, there's only one team that's happy at the end of the year. That's it. One. Okay? So there's 31 teams that aren't very happy. And I just knew, you know, when I always analyzed myself, the season, and what I needed to do to get better. And I just focused on what I could do to help a team get better.
Bill Romanowski, as we wrap it up, I'm so thrilled we're talking. We're going to spend the weekend together. I wanted to ask you this, and I think I'm going to ask you this at the Grayton Casino too. Is there anyone who's ever been alive who's tackled as many people as you? Because you played in an era where you tackled in practice.
Oh, yeah.
We don't do that anymore. So I'm talking to Bill Romanowski in training camp and then preseason. You're coming onto the field in practice and pads a lot.
Yeah.
What was your mindset? You couldn't pull back, Romo, and go 60%.
Well,
what'd you do?
Believe it or not, Philadelphia wore pads. At the 49ers, we didn't wear pads during the week. They didn't.
Yeah.
They maybe 9-on-7 we would put them on for 8 plays, but that was it. How do you think I was able to play 16 years never missing a game? You know, I go to Philadelphia, we had pads on, but the one thing that George Seifert and Bill Walsh used to say about not wearing pads is you're going to practice faster. There may be some fits and different things like that where you have a little bit of a deficit going into a game, but you're going to be fresher, you're going to feel better, and you're going to want to hit somebody.
Never missed a game. Were you close? I mean, I know you were close.
I was close a lot of times.
And what made you, in the era now of agents, saying no? Like, I love Max Crosby, right?
Yeah.
Max got shut down at the end of the year for a couple of times because he's getting surgery.
Yeah.
He could have played. The Raiders were playing in a playoff game. He would have played through that.
Sure.
What was it like for you going into an offseason knowing if you sat it down maybe a game or two, you could have started the process of healing, having a surgery or something?
You know, I took such good care of myself during a season that there was only one off season where on the track I was doing some bounding. I was bounding over hurdles, and I had a slight tear in my patella tendon, and this was when I was in Denver. And that off season, I had to get they call it jumper's knee. Okay. So I had to get my patella fixed. It wasn't torn. I just had to get it repaired. But that hurt me.
Wow.
Hey, yeah.
It's amazing because you played with a lot of teams, but the last thing for our audience, the Raiders had a really impact, a big impact on your life from the
Oh.
Davis family. So, you're a legend with the Broncos. You talked about your Philly years, the Niner years. Well, what made you a Raider to the point that you still talk about it and that's your badge of honor?
Well, number one, let's just start with when I left Denver, I knew there was only one place for me, and that was Oakland. Because, number one, I wanted to really give Mike the you-know-what.
Yeah, you did.
And that year, we beat their ass twice. And I'll tell you this, if I didn't come to the Raiders and I stayed at the Broncos would have won the Super Bowl that year.
You believe that?
I truly believe that. You
were the missing link.
I was the one, that every single day in practice I set the tempo. And at the Raiders, I was a guy amongst a bunch of great ones.
Yeah.
And we
team.
were able to go, and we just SHIT the bed, that day against
that's
the
a book.
Buccaneers.
That's a documentary.
Yeah.
I'll see you all weekend. Stay with me 1 second.
Okay.
I'm going to come back with Rod Woodson, Clay. We'll get out here. Rod Woodson, the Hall of Famer, joins us next. We're going to have a great weekend with Bill Romanowski. Brought to you by Remy Martin. Sip Like Sports Royalty. They're sponsoring our whole show today, along with our other sponsors I'll be telling you about. Live from Radio Row, the Moscone Center, JT the Brick. Thanks again to Bill Romanowski.